What was your I was only gone X minutes, what the heck happened story? One night I was on my own and decided to make a nice meal for myself. I spent about half an hour preparing and baking a delicious chicken breast with sun-dried tomatoes and brie cheese. So I got everything ready, set up my dinner and my beer on the coffee table and sat down to eat and watch some TV. At this point my cat waltzed in and sat on the couch next to me. Then he dropped something out of his mouth next to me. I turned to look at it. It was a snake. Crap. Okay. No big deal. It's not a big one. So I got up and grabbed some snake wrangling tools, a dustpan and brush, and scooped this little guy up. I walked out the front door and tossed the snake back into the bushes, hoping the cat won't go after it again. I was gone for about 15 seconds. I came back inside and my dinner was gone. The cat was under the table, hunched over a half-eaten chicken breast, and growling every time I came near. And that's the first time my cat distracted me with a snake in order to steal my dinner. I left my 2-year-old twins for 2 minutes. They were happily glued to the TV and I thought it was the perfect opportunity to sneak to the kitchen and finish making my coffee. They continued being quiet and I found it strange as they normally come and follow me when I leave the room. I came back and there was soil scattered all over my carpet. One was feeding the other a plant. First baby. Wife has never left our little girl but decides to run an errand leaving me, dad, alone with her. I assure wife all will be well in her short absence. Kid is sleeping in my arms. All is quiet. Give wife a kiss and she heads out the door. Walk back to sofa with sleeping kid. Notice kid could use a diaper change. Set baby on changing table. I take off old diaper. Baby wakes up. Proceeds to erupt with a volcano of projectile diarrhea. It's all over me. Changing table. Wall. I panic. Pick up baby still hemorrhaging an unending spray of baby turd mist. Take her to the kitchen sink and flip on water. Water is cold. Set baby in sink. Baby screams like a demon. Wife opens the door. Forgot her purse. Crap all over the walls and floor. Desperate crap covered husband wrestling with desperate freezing crap covered baby. Wife was gone maybe 90 seconds. Maximum. Back in 2008, when everyone was getting $600 tax rebate checks in the mail, I left mine unopened on my coffee table, went to use the restroom and when I got back I saw the envelope chewed in half and my dog nowhere to be seen. Somehow my miniature dachshund puppy got up on the coffee table, picked through all my other mail to find the specific one, chew it up and run under a bed, all in about 1 minute. I had to tell the IRS that my dog chewed up my rebate check, which was funny. My parents' Dalmatians did that to them before I was born. They ended up having to pry out pieces of the check from one of the dog's mouth. One which was wrapped around his canine with the tax return check amount on it. According to the IRS folks, it happens all the time. First day of summer break after grade 7 I went to a skate park with a few friends, and one of their dads drove us all. He went to get a coffee and said, "Don't break anything until I get back," and I did not listen. I went down a quarter pipe and broke both my radius and ulna on my first try. He got back and I was sitting on a bench holding my crooked arm. I'd have been annoyed if that were me. All the man wanted was to sit with a nice cup of joe and watch kids hurt themselves. When my daughter was around 3.5, I picked her up from daycare on my way home from work, walked into the door and set her down in the living room to play while I put the mail I had grabbed on the way into the house on the table in the kitchen, which was less than 10 feet away. I drop the mail on the kitchen table, turn around and walk back into the living room and she's butt naked. It was literally less than 5 seconds. I'm still amazed when I think about it. I can't even get my shoes off that fast. Comcast and FedEx both left a just missed you on my door when I was gone for 5 minutes to shower during the latter quarter of a 5-6 hour time frame. They may well have come and just left the notices without even knocking. I've caught both UPS and FedEx at different points. Stop, get out with the form, stick it on the door, and run back to their truck. I experienced being hunted by a tow truck in Chicago. A friend and I were delivering a couple big monitors to his apartment. We pulled around behind the building but he didn't have the key for the back door, so we quick ran around front and came out the back door of his apartment to see the car gone. Like not going, or the tow truck loading up the car. It was gone. We couldn't have taken more than 90 seconds. Tow drivers can hook a car and be gone in like 20 seconds. I grew up in the country. One day in high school, I came home, made myself a snack, and then went back outside to eat my snack on the deck. When I got home, the yard was empty. When I came back out, there was a zebra in the yard. And that's how we found out the new neighbors ran an exotic animal petting zoo, and that they weren't very good at it. They lived there for a couple years, and we got really nonchalant about that zebra getting out. My grandma came to visit once and came in all in a tizzy about it. I think it was even more shocking when our response was basically that dang zebra again. My grandmother lived in the middle of nowhere but had a couple neighbors. One decided to raise alpacas. You have not lived till you have seen an overweight redneck animal control officer in shorts chase after an angry alpaca with a catch pole for like an hour, twice. I was in middle school. I went to the bathroom because the lesson was boring me out of my mind. You know, I was 12 and stayed there for 10 minutes. While I was returning to class, I saw two cops dragging two of my classmates. They were handcuffed and visibly terrified. Found out some time later that they were arrested for drugs, and the cops came in the class and handcuffed them right there. First year high school, my friend did the same thing. 10 minutes of bathroom break. When he came back, the teacher was projecting pee from his laptop. There was a lot of screaming. I was boiling water on an electric stovetop. Seemed safe enough. Left for 30 seconds. Came back. Entire stove was on fire with 2-foot flames. Someone had let some oily food fall between the burner and the tin foil we keep underneath. Another 30 seconds and the kitchen would have caught fire. I live above the pizza place that I work at. I'm also full-time in college. Last night they called me in just for an hour or two to help close. No big deal. After a full school day and going into work for a bit, I was exhausted. I walked up the stairs and into my apartment. There was new decorations everywhere. My furniture was gone, and my bedroom door was open. I screamed holy frick and kicked open the door to see who was in my room. I was only gone for an hour. How could someone move in and move out all my crap? As I made contact with the girl laying in bed watching Netflix, I realized I was on the second floor, not the third floor. The apartment below me has the exact same layout as mine, and this girl happened to have her door unlocked like I usually leave mine. Multiple roommates. I simply said oops, wrong room, and ran back to my room. I'm going to go down today and apologize for scaring that poor girl half to death at 11 PM. If the 3 rom-coms I've watched in my life have taught me anything, the 2 of you will fall in love, fight over something, and then get back together sometime later to live happily ever after. Good luck. I was asleep and woke up to the sound of my husband shouting frustratedly at his son, who was 16 at the time. You've just waded through knee-deep water, out through your bedroom, and down the hallway. You tell me, mate, why do you think the Wi-Fi isn't freaking working? I smiled for a second before I realized that, oh crap, our little bungalow has flooded. Nipped upstairs for a pee, was gone no more than 2 minutes. Came back down to find my daughter had shat on the living room floor and was gleefully stomping it into the carpet. It's a muddy puddle, daddy. Freaking puberty. Went to work one day. I literally lived right across the street from my job, so I walked to work each day. By the time I got to work, my boss told me I needed to go back home. It was an emergency. Apparently my power had been cut off. My stepdad had flipped and scared the crap out of my siblings and attempted to kill my pregnant mom. Attempted to kill my pregnant mom. I think I need to know how this all shook out. When I went to the bathroom for the first time during calculus, holy frick was that a mistake. My ex drank too much white wine one night. After we got back to my apartment, I quickly went down the street to grab him some Gatorade or whatever. I was gone maybe 10 minutes, tops. My brother calls me up. We lived together at the time. While I'm walking back and angrily tells me, you need to get back here now, no details about what's wrong or anything. So I walk into the door of our apartment to find my ex passed out, completely naked. He had clothes on when I left, on the floor between our bathroom and kitchen. My brother pointed ominously toward the bathroom. In the 10 or so minutes I was gone, my ex had somehow managed to smear crap all over himself and every surface in my bathroom. We're talking everywhere. The sink, the shower curtain, the back of the door, the walls, the toilet, even his hair and face, all covered in shitty handprints. It took me the rest of the night to bleach the heck out of everything. I've never seen anything like it in my whole life and it haunts me to this day. The next day, my brother and one of his friends taped newspaper all over the walls and floor in the bathroom because clearly my ex wasn't housebroken. Stupid ex was offended. It was hilarious. I was watching TV and went to my room to get my phone charger. I was gone maximum 2 minutes. When I got back a goat was on the coffee table. It scared the crap out of me. Where do you live where goats just appear on coffee tables? A little over a year ago my now husband and I were prepping for a move and needed to take a handful of garbage bags to the dumpster in our apartment community. We patted each of our dogs, a 7-year-old mini schnauzer and a 16-year-old rat terrier, 2 small dogs. This is very important later on the head and headed out. Less than 5 minutes later we come back. Both of the dogs meeting us at the door with wagging tails and big smiles. All seems perfect until we round the corner into the dining room. One of the dogs pooped clear up 2 walls, about 4.5 feet up across about 6 feet wide worth of wall. I was laughing too hard to clean it up. The husband saved the day and cleaned it up. But with such force and distance, we can only imagine the absolutely gut-wrenching noise that dog, still not sure which one, had to have made when it did its big business. We were seriously only gone 5 minutes. We now refer to it as the Poopening of 2015. The best part of this is the inclusion of the year, as if you need to distinguish it from previous Poopenings. Left the mail room to go get my wipes to clean off the scanner glass. Was gone 3 minutes. Came back to find the entire mailroom coated in toner, and a toner covered co-worker just standing there looking confused and alarmed. Never even asked, just went to get our boss to go deal with it. This visual is amazing, the co-worker standing there in shock. Brazil suddenly conceded 5 goals. Left the gym, got in my car, turned on the radio, 2 more goals. Got to my house, 3 more. My dog followed me to the door and then I shut it. Was in there for about 45 seconds. Then opened the door to find puddles of dog diarrhea all over the living room. Hahaha, same with me. My Great Dane was house trained and never messed up at all. Walked out to the garage to get a screwdriver, came into huge puddles of dog crap. He was trying to hide under the bed. Turned away from a closed pizza box to get plates. Turned back and my cat was running off with a piece. I was having a big steak and a martini while watching a James Bond marathon. Put my fork and knife to the plate to cut off a piece with my eyes still watching TV. Hear clink, look up to see my cat dragging the whole steak across the carpet. The steak was ruined. When I took it from it he hissed at me for the only time in 11 years. Little bastard can go to heck. That was a good steak. You have been visited by the IT lizard. Upvote or experience bad internet for a month. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.